we got the Game Awards to talk about. That happened, when was it? Last Thursday. And, you know, some people say it was the greatest Game Awards ever. And I don't think I necessarily agree with that, but I can see why people say that. You know, on a personal tip, I don't think there was a lot here for me, but the things that were here were, you know, they have its fans, and there were some like pretty jaw-dropping announcements that I think people weren't expecting. You know, like the Okami sequel, Onimusha coming back, and all that. The Witcher 4 looks pretty incredible, actually. It's you know, I think it was a banger. But I guess my favorite, like we're just gonna talk highlights here. We're not gonna go through the whole show, but one of my like a couple, you know, highlights for me. Us seeing Mafia, you know, I think the three of us can agree that looks really good. Like, that looks so cool. And I love the setting. I love the character models. I think it all looks phenomenal, you know. Chris doesn't think so, but I think he's lying. It's, you know, I think it's very smart of them to put us somewhere else. And they did say after that it wasn't going to be open world. It was going to be more linear. And I think that's a good thing, because they were never that great at open world games. There's not much to do in those other Mafia open world games. So I'm glad they realized, like, you know what, let's just make it somewhat big, and it doesn't have to be this huge playground. You know, so I'm good with that. Big. Somewhat big. We're all excited for Mafia, right? After that showing.
Oh, incredibly excited.
I gotta get a new console, man.
Just excitement level 100.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you do need the old console. New console. One of the 6. The WTF moment for me was that game Shadow Labyrinth. It was like that fucked up take on Pac-Man. Like, that was just weird. Like, but I understand that Secret Levels episode has something to do with that, so I gotta watch that. But I just thought that was like, wow, this is just off the wall. It's like a very dark take on Pac-Man. I was excited for Ninja Gaiden. I was excited for Virtua Fighter coming back. And I guess let's just talk about, at least for me, you know what, no, we're going to save it to the end. But that was pretty much what I got out of it. You know, the Double Dragon game was cool too. And I got to say, there's a game they had called Project Century. I guess that's like a working title, but it was like, it reminded me a lot of Sleeping Dogs, where you were like in Asia, and you were kind of in this like very busy street and stuff. It looked pretty cool, but not much to go on, but definitely keeping my crosshairs on it. But yeah, Chris, what were your takeaways from this? What got you excited from the show?
I thought the show in general was just a good show. Right. It was just too long, just like it always is. It's just way too long. Yeah. But it's hard to knock the show. I thought the musical performances were amazing. Yeah. Like, that orchestra was just incredible. They nailed it out of the park every single time, even with some of the singers there as well. Just really, really good stuff from the entertainment stuff. They mixed in, you know, pop icons like Snoop Dogg. Right? You had the Harrison Ford surprise, which was a pretty cool moment. And they gave out some hardware. I just thought it was a little bit too much. Some of that stuff could have just been an email, you know, like, I'm sorry for anybody that's excited about Sonic Racers, but that could have just been cut out, you know what I mean? And just put as like a thing afterwards on X or whatever, right? But I get it. This is a marketing vehicle. It's just, you don't want it to get too bloated. And I think if you skim 20 minutes off, I think you still have a good show. But I understand also that they want to give as much representation to all the different, you know, people in the industry, which I get, and they're trying to make this thing as big as possible. But yeah, it's just going to become, I think it's just going to become one of those things that's not going to go away. It will stay long, kind of like how people always complained about the length of like the WrestleMania shows. But overall, good show. And as far as the winners go, I mean, obviously Astrobot was the big winner, taking home 4 pieces of hardware. Yeah, and then of course you can go online and check out some of the winners there. But Astrobot kind of winning 4 there. Seeing Turok announced, that's a big surprise for me. I was like, what? Turok? What's going on here?
Come back.
That's a name I haven't heard in years. You know, he exhales a cigarette. So I thought that was interesting. Ryan, any love toward Turok? I know you're an N64 guy. Did you ever play those games?
No, I missed those completely. I was not a fan. And hearing the reaction to this new game that got announced, a lot of people aren't happy because it just doesn't look like Turok. It looks like something completely different with the Turok name, but I don't know. I can't really speak too much
like
on
Turok?
it. Turok, but
or The Rock. Does it look like The Rock? Don't give The Rock ideas.
He will take it and run with it and make a shitty movie out of it.
Turok would so be a Rock brand, like something where he plants his flag.
Yeah, it would be like the Rampage movie, you know?
It's me. Look at me. I look like the guy. It's like, nah.
If there was a movie released, Rock would be the guy.
Yeah. Like he did Rampage, right? Like that Rampage movie. That's based on the arcade game.
There you go.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's that was cool. No, I'm not a fan of Turok though. To answer your question.
Yeah, but seeing Hideo Kojima there was awesome as well. I thought that was a nice little highlight. And yeah, as far as the games, like nothing that made me really want to rush out and go crazy. But that soccer game looks interesting.
Yeah, the Sifu.
And you're right, that Project Sentry thing's got a cool vibe about it.
Yeah. There was
something really cool about it.
There was one called Screamer. It was like an anime racing game, it looked like. That was pretty cool. Like it was just
I missed it.
It was like a cinematic.
I must have missed that.
Okay, it was like a cinematic trailer. Like it was just cutscenes, but like when it showed the cars, it was like 3D, but then it flashed to like the racers' faces and it was like an anime thing. It reminded me a lot of like Initial D and shit. So
oh man, Initial D was cool. I wish I'd followed it up. I watched the beginning of Initial D, but never finished it.
Yeah, I gotta finish it too. But like I don't know, I'm a fan of that kind of thing, so like that's cool. I'm excited for that. Yeah, Darren, I know you probably didn't watch it, but like the list is there. Like if you go through it, like
don't assume that.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
It's not from me. I'm gonna put it that way. Like,
why the fuck didn't you see it?
I don't even watch.
Fuck.
It's not a thing for me. I didn't watch the fucking Oscars or anything like that. But like, I was actually kind of like I fought for Ryan because
I don't know what that is.
Astrobot
who's
came
Oscar?
to number one, and I know Astrobot's like one of Ryan's favorite games.
Fuck yeah.
Right? And then it gets me thinking, okay, maybe Ryan is onto something and he knows some good shit after all.
You know what I mean?
Because we tend to differ in terms of like what type of style of games we play, right? So it's got me probably a little bit more open-minded, like seeing that hit number one and then that's one of your favorite games that, you know what, maybe I should just be more open-minded and try some new shit out. So, eye-opening moment. I did read the Turok one. That was where I was going to lead because Turok was a game I had in the 64, and I'm like, what the fuck they doing bringing this game back? That's a definite throwback.
Yeah.
I can vaguely remember what it looks like, so I don't really want to jump in too much on the differences or whatever. But yeah, Chris today hit some nails on the head in there, and you mentioned like Mafia 4. We're all gunning for that. That's the one. That's the big one on my radar, more or less, for next year, and possibly GTA. I may wait for that a little bit because that's going to consume my life.
Yes,
all our lives.
Right.
Mafia 4, the old country though, like, fuck, how good does that look?
Yeah.
Like, how awesome does that actually look? Like, I am immensely excited. But another one, I'm kind of like interested in a little bit, and I know through mine and Chris's mutual friends as well as David and Nelson. I don't know. My question is: any of you guys actually played it, and is it actually worth going down that road?
Oh yeah, everybody recommends Witcher, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. It's both of them. It's both Nelson and David. But yeah, it's a great game. It's at one point you could get it for like $10 on digital.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I think I can get it now with the PlayStation Plus that I have, the level that I'm at.
Yeah.
So I might be able to get it. But yeah, no, definitely a good game. Cool lore, apparently, right? So it's a good world to jump in. And the one you'll keep hearing over and over again is if you enjoy games like Skyrim, then you'll like Witcher 3.
I played Skyrim years ago. It was okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, this was a really cool cinema. I think I texted Ryan, and I'm like, this trailer slapped. It slapped.
It looked good, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did. It did look good. You're right.
Caught my eye.
What are you going to do about it?
There's a
new console. I have to get a new console either way, right?
Yeah, it was
Your Honor,
it was going to happen. I will give these trailers credit though. They make me want to try these games. Like I didn't care for The Witcher just because I'm not a high fantasy kind of guy, but like it's or not fantasy, the medieval period, but like seeing that was like really cool. It looked awesome. So now I am more inclined to try The Witcher 3. Okami, I always heard was like a Zelda game, but for some reason or another, I never got into it. But now there's a sequel coming. The hype is crazy. Maybe I'll go back and get it. Plus, that game's always cheap. And Onimusha is like what was that? Like a PS1 darling? Like, and now that's coming back.
Yeah.
Like that's
PS2 as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. So
I think it was PS2.
Maybe I gotta fill in some holes. I don't know. Don't take that sexually.
What?
Nothing. Anyway,
I was waiting for Chris.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna send that one to Bruno.
Who the fuck is that?
HR.
You know who Bruno is?
I don't. I don't know half the staff apparently. But
very cool, boys.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. What's your take on?
Did you like seeing Hideo Kojima?
Look, I just
sorry, Ryan, I interrupted you. What were we saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like Darren touched on it, but like Astrobot winning Game of the Year, is that surprising?
Yeah,
or is that? I like that they basically thanked Nintendo. I like that PlayStation thanked Nintendo. That just makes me really happy.
It's a nice touch.
Like what the fuck? They couldn't say it, but he was like, "You know who I'm talking about." I mean, that was funny.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising. I think that game is fantastic. Yeah. Seeing Hideo Kojima, like Kojima is just, he's awesome. He's there every year, I think, because him and Jeff are boys. They even like teased that with the Muppet thing, which was funny. Yeah, I don't know. Just find it funny. No mention of Metal Gear Snake Eater, and I wonder if that's on purpose.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not even a whisper.
No. I think Konami...
Next year's going to be crazy, though, with all the releases. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
We know that Mafia 4 is going to be out in the summer, because that's what the trailer said,
That's right.
Summer 2025.
That's right, Mafia.
So they've already pitched they set up their poll there. If you're GTA, you're looking at this, do you drop your GTA game before or after?
I don't think they care. I think that they can do whatever they want.
They're just going to bulldoze anything.
The minute that drops, it's over. It's the most anticipated game probably ever,
Yeah. So I've always said... Sorry, I'll say one last thing, and it's just that I've always said that the Mafia series is just... It's unfair to look at it as a GTA competitor or killer. They're both very similar games. And I think that's the best way to draw in newer fans, because that's exactly what I told Ryan when I played it. Because when I played it, I don't think Ryan even had any intention of playing it at that moment. But I said to him, like, this is really good, and there are a few good creative decisions away from really making an excellent, 5-star game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lollipop Guild.
Another name for him.
Fuck me.
Dazman, the Lollipop Guild.
Unbelievable. Here we go again.
In this corner, it is the Dazman.
So what got you excited about that football game? It's called Rematch, eh?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, the visual style is pretty interesting.
Like all the tricks and
it's
stuff
kind
that
of...
you can do.
Yeah, it just looks very arcadey, which is...
Oh, yeah. Super arcadey. Yeah.
It's ridiculous, right? I was telling Ryan, all it's just missing is a rocket launcher. Just go full out, right?
Yeah.
Then it just becomes Rocket League with the actual players, I guess. I don't know.
It takes me back to that...
you do some weird mix. I don't know.
It takes me back a little bit to ISS Pro. I don't know if you ever played that. Like, that was an arcade soccer game. It was cool, like, back in the day.
ISS Pro.
It sounds familiar.
But about all the trick shots and shit. But, no, it just looks like it could be fun, right? You know what I mean? Like how FIFA Street was back in the day.
FIFA Street.
But, no, there was a few. I mean, Intergalactic looked interesting as well.
If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcast for new episodes every week.